Welcome back to Mommy Rebellion. I am Chase Young, and once again, we are doing part of our series on finding joy in this crazy year of 2020. And today I'm joined with Calandra. She is a brand strategist, designer, visibility coach who helps female entrepreneurs stand out in the online space. And she's a mom. I'm so glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me once again on the Mommy Rebellion.
It is always fun to have you. So yeah, let's get into it. A lot of people have been like sharing all the memes about let's reboot 2020, let's throw it away. And while I totally agree, there's been a lot of hard stuff about this year, I think there's been a lot of hidden joys too. And I would love to hear some of yours.
Totally. Yeah, 2020 has been a little bit of a whirlwind. I think that everybody is having a very similar experience, but also so different because our lives are so different. I feel really grateful and fortunate to have been a work from home mom up until COVID hit and we kind of had our world turn upside down because not a lot changed
Yeah.
for me in my world. We experienced, I think it was almost 3 months of preschool and daycare shutting down. So that was a adjustment, especially with having my son older now. He was so much easier to take care of while running a business when he
Yeah.
could fit in the baby carrier and I could do all of that. Uh,
Hmm.
Running around and destroying the house now is not the same ball game. So that was definitely an obstacle, but for the most part things have not shifted too much in my world. A few adjustments in my business as far as the strategy goes,
Hmm.
but for the most part 2020 has been a year, and I think that this is across the board for everybody, a year of growth and almost a period of reflection as to, I think a lot of us had really big intentions for 2020. 2020 is going to be
Hmm.
the year, and that was
Yeah.
exactly where I was at prior to the pandemic. And I think it was a great like check in. It was an opportunity for everybody to check in with, well, is that really what you want? And here's this world that we are now living in, and how are you going to handle that? And I think that that was a really great opportunity to grow from a personal development standpoint, but also as a business owner too.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of huge plans because my youngest was due in January. So I kind of knew, like, I didn't vision out 2020 like I often do because I was like, I'm having a newborn and I don't know who this newborn's going to be. And
Unexpected.
she's been really easy, but I've had some not so easy newborns. So like I was trying to be prepared for that. But I know for me personally, a lot of my fourth trimester plans weren't able to work the way I wanted them to. I was going to have friends steal me and the baby away for coffee dates or just take my older children away. And when we went into lockdown when she was 6 weeks old, which was just about the time I was ready to, start creeping back out into the world, um, that couldn't happen. But a huge advantage for us is that my husband's been home. So while he's working in my normal dedicated office space, so you all get the semi-busy background behind me, um, and the kids coming in during these interviews sometimes, he gets to take his breaks and his lunch with the little one. And so it will be a very big adjustment when he does eventually go back to work because she's not at all used to him not being here. Like he's always here. And then we've also had the advantage that his work has lowered the amount of PTO they can carry from year to year. So he's had to actually spend it. And so he's been taking about a week off every month since I think like August. And that's been really nice to just have that extra cushiony time as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's really testament to the fact that we can always evolve and
Hmm.
shift as we need to, especially as moms, and just generally speaking as humans, we are always fluid, and when things turn upside down we find a way to make it work, even if it's not necessarily what we envisioned or the way that we would want it to go. But we can still find the things that we're grateful for and find the joy in it in between all of it.
Now I'm wondering, because you and I both work from home, and so we might had to have changed how we were doing things, but we didn't really like change what we were doing. Like I haven't lost any income or anything like that in this. Um, but sometimes when I hear stories about people, especially people in other countries where some of them got paid to sit at home, I'm kind of jealous that they got that. I don't know. Do you feel that? Do you get a little? Oh, that would have been nice.
Totally. Yeah, I think I saw, people in the workforce, even here, we're both in Maine, where people were getting, the unemployment benefits. And I was like, oh, I wish that I was getting that extra cushion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, things didn't really shift in my business all that much. I did have a couple of clients put things on hold or readjust their payment schedules and things like that.
Yeah.
But with the pandemic, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was creating more accessibility within my business, because I generally work with entrepreneurs at a higher level. I was really called to create my membership, which allows people to have a budget friendly option for growing their business and getting that support. And also, I think at the same time, a lot of us are being called to community and to that connection. So some of the things that I did before in my business shifted, and the energy and intention shifted to creating community spaces and creating connections, because we need so much of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I discovered that these video things were really fun to do.
Yes.
A lot easier right now than me trying to find 5 minutes to sit down and write, especially now that she's getting into everything.
Yeah, exactly. Video is so much easier sometimes. Or even that's, I started my podcast during the pandemic, and that has been a blessing because I can sit down. I usually go out in my car because the sound quality is great. I don't have to worry about the animals or the kid.
Yep.
And I can get really high value content out in 15 to 30 minutes and then repurpose it from there and use it in all of the different ways. And that has been such a great connector too, with meeting other like-minded people.
Yeah. 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 That has been too. And then I don't know if you want to talk about this at all, but one of the other things I've been talking about on my channel is just, have you started thinking about how the holidays might look different this year? I've been prepping my kids. I know yours might still be young enough to not really know any better, but I've been prepping my older kids that it's not going to quite look the same this year.
Yeah, we've had to give it a little bit of that. I mean, my son is 3, almost 4, so he's still at that really great stage where everything is exciting. And if we if we make it exciting for us and him, then he tends to
Yeah.
play along. And he doesn't have a lot of traditions that he's expecting, so that's
Hmm.
helpful. Something that we did have to shift, his birthday was during the shutdown, during lockdown period. So he had to have a special at home birthday party, which he loved. Halloween is going to look different this
Yeah.
year. So we are going to set up a trail in the woods next to our house and decorate it and do a scavenger hunt, almost like Easter
Yeah.
style, look for candy. So that's something that will be different. Thankfully, he's back in preschool now, so he gets to go and play dress up with his friends during the day, and then the next day get to do the candy thing with us.
Yeah.
And then for the winter holidays, with Thanksgiving, and we celebrate Christmas, it's I think it'll be more of just cozy at home celebrations, and honestly that's what we tend to gravitate towards anyways. A lot of family lives out of state, so there will probably be some Zoom chats and virtual connections that way, but I think that we'll do a lot of at home celebrations.
Yeah, I don't think the December holidays will change a lot for us either. My husband's family is all far away, so the Zoom or Facebook Messenger catching up with relatives is kind of normal in my house. So, that will still continue. And I'm just kind of really thinking about how can I make it sort of the Danish concept of a hygge Christmas. How can I just make it all warm and cozy and
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
I'm craving this year, is just it's a season of giving. And I think that that's something that I really want to be able to teach my son, is that
Yeah.
it's not just about necessarily the traditions or the presents, although he's very excited about that aspect.
as
But
as most almost 4-year-olds are. I mean, like, that
yeah.
is normal.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to create sort of the smaller family traditions. Like, something that I remember as a kid was getting a new set of pajamas on Christmas Eve. So that's
Yeah,
something that
we
will live on.
we did that for years. Though at this point, my kids are good with PJs. So last year we heard about in Iceland they do books on Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. So we did that last year, and I just got told that they want that again this year.
Aw.
Um, so, and I think even as a grown up, a new book, and we don't give the bar of chocolate, but that's the other thing that they do. Like, so in Iceland, everyone gets a new book and a bar of chocolate, and they go to bed and read. And I'm like, oh, that just seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually, I mean, we've done this before, but it'll be more special this year, I think, with just having limited celebrations. We do the
Mhm.
pajamas,
Yeah.
Christmas, themed book that we can read to him before bed, and then having hot cocoa and watching the original Rudolph,
Yeah.
because that's my personal favorite.
Yep. And he's not, I was going to say probably not this year, but next year, the year after, you may have to start looking at taking more time off before Christmas. Like for me, I'm looking at like definitely not trying to get anything done after the 15th of December, because I know that my 7-year-old will be amped to the max at that point. And it's just a matter of what can we do to fill in the time to keep her from going crazy till we get to Christmas. So,
Totally. Yeah, that's the goal and the intention, and something that I kind of do anyways, is taking ample time off around the holidays,
yeah.
just to have that cushion and have extra time to celebrate and relax.
Yeah. Well, where can people find you if they want to learn more about all the amazing stuff that you do?
Yeah, everybody can follow me on Instagram. My handle is at calandra.martin. And you can also find all of the things over on my website, which is just calandramartin.com. I am active on my personal Facebook page and Pinterest and all of the places, but the website is the place to find me.
And we will have links to that in the description below. Well, thank you, Calandra. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me again, Chase.
You're welcome. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment all the YouTube things.